Hey y'all. So I was able to find this brand new game to play. Big fan of cribbage in general, so um, I guess being able to play alone versus a computer is something that helps a lot. So as you can see here, there are a bunch of different options. You get these little coins. You can level up as you continue to play. Um, then there's also a bunch of options on upgrading different things, whatnot. So I guess we'll just jump in and start playing. Maybe we'll um, start out at easy and see how that goes. So this really determines who goes first. Oh, I guess we tied there. And all right, here we go. So I would suggest before watching this, if you don't know how to play cribbage, probably learn that firsthand because I don't want to go into the basics. But for those familiar, this will make a lot of sense. So I'm going to take the ace and the queen, get rid of those because I have that run. I can make pairs of 15, a couple of different ways there, so it'll maximize the amount of points I'm going to get. We'll start out with a 7, just see if they can bait them into getting us some points here, but didn't work out too well. Oh wow, there we go. Had a really nice 10-point hand, and as you can see there, you get coins throughout it as you start to unlock different hands or different combinations of points. And it over here, it automatically counts your score for better or for worse, I guess. Um, and then it also can tell you the discard score, so it gives you a rating of what the optimal hand would have been from a statistics standpoint, all the possibilities. Oh wow, this is luckily I get the crib this time. I think I'm gonna give myself a pair. Actually, that would turn it in and give me some extra points because the 3 and the 3 would give a 6 for the 2 9. So maybe I'll do this instead and see how that goes. Hmm, they got me there, huh? So I guess just explaining, when you're counting here, the points that you get starts the first time you can get points is at 15 when the cards combined count to 15. And then the highest points they go to is 31, which sometimes you get there, sometimes you don't. So if you get 31 exactly in the counting, you get 2 points added to your score. But if you get the last card played without going over, you only get 1 point. Another tough one. I guess there's really no best option as far as these. So let's see. I guess I'll try this and hope that a 7 doesn't come up. But also, if I were to count this and then the 6 and the 8, that would give me points already. But let's just hope. Okay, you win some, you lose some, I guess. And I can't play there because the face cards are worth 10 points, and 22 plus 10 is 32, which actually goes over. So, all right, let's see what this next hand gives us. Oh wow, okay. So these runs where you get 3 cards in a row that makes a run of 3 plus an extra um, are really nice, and I like to keep them in my hand because you always have to discard 2 cards. So you get 6, you discard down to 4, and then the other 2 from each of the players goes into the crib, and that goes back and forth, back and forth. But here, the way you count this is 5, 6, 7, so that's 1, 2, 3 points. And then using the other 6, that makes another run of 3. So that's another 5, 6, 7. So that's 4, 5, 6 points. And then the pair of 6 gives you 8 points total. So that's how much I would get from these four specific cards together. And then also the queen came up, and I can make a pair or count the 15 from queen and 5. So for me, that gives me 10 points for this round. And there it is. There's that 10. And that was a really unlucky crib, but I did pretty well in the rest of that, so it was all right. And there it is again, 5567, which unfortunately would mean that I have to get rid of a pair that goes directly to them where they'll get points. So we'll hope that it doesn't hurt me too much. And wow, the 4 adds on and really makes the run even longer. So we'll see how many points that gives me this time. And as far as how you count back and forth and what cards you put down first, um, it really depends on your strategy, and everybody's a little bit different. So there is no right way or wrong way, but as you start playing a little bit more, you'll get the hang of what you can expect the other person to do. And again, this is an AI or some sort of computer type of code, so um, it may not be completely random like it would be in real life, but that's why you're starting to see some of these cards come up over and over. Like I've gotten those runs a couple of times in a row now. So, um, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a lot of fun just to practice your game. See, there it was again, 7899. So it's just things that I guess happen when you're trying to code a game. So, and there it is again, 2344. I guess I'll just keep taking these as they come. And as far as some of the strategies there, um, I I try not to start with a face card or a 5 right away because the odds that they have any card that's worth 10, like if you were to put a 5 down first in the counting portion, all they would need is a 10 jack queen or king and they would automatically get 2 points because they would be right at that 15. So um, I really try to avoid doing that a lot of times just because um, like I said, it's an automatic like points that you're basically just handing away. So I try to be strategic, but a lot of times it doesn't exactly work perfectly. Mm, okay, so maybe I'll get rid of the king. It won't help me much, and maybe the 2. I guess if it's my crib, we'll see. I'm in a pretty comfortable place right now, so not super worried about the potential points that I could or could not get from this round. And I guess, okay. And maybe this time I will start with a jack and hope that they don't have a 5, because if they did have a jack, um, there we go. Then I could play my third jack and end up getting 6 points, because when you get a pair, the second person, what they just got was 2 points. But now when I play this one, I'll actually get 6 points because it's basically like a triple. And sometimes it's worth the gamble to see if you can get that working for you. But other times when it's early and it's a close game, I don't know if I really want to risk the possibility of like giving up 6 points. And if I had two jacks and they had two jacks and I played, well, jacks are probably not the greatest example, but if you had cards that were, when they all add up below 31, if you were to play 4 of them in a row, the person who plays the fourth one gets 12 points. And that's a lot higher than most hands you'll end up getting. So it's definitely a risk that you have to, I guess, calculate and see if it's worth it. And wow, okay. Um, with this one, I think based on my experience from the game, to maximize the amount of points, I would probably take a 5 and this 9 and give it away. Because with the 7 and the 8s, having multiple of those will add up to 15. So it'll give me a couple extra points there. And then obviously you have to get rid of 2 cards. So I think these are the 2 best. And when I'm not getting the crib myself, I split up the suits because um, in some cases, if all the cards that get put into a hand are the same suit, it gets an extra point for each of those cards. Um, so if I were giving this crib to myself, I would take 5 of diamonds and 9 of diamonds. But since I'm giving it away, I want to minimize the amount of points they could get. So it's going to be the 5 of diamonds and the 9 of clubs just to separate it and make sure I'm not giving away free points. And so here we go. I think likely this will be the last round of the game because it looks like I'm going to get to 121 a lot before they will. Um, so, yeah, with this last hand, I guess that means that I've won the game. And there you go. Okay. And another part, the skunk, I guess, is when they are below a certain point threshold, and you get to 121 points before them. That's kind of what that is. So, there you go. I guess that was my first game of cribbage on this. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it was easy, so it wasn't the most tough thing ever, but you can see I've gotten some coins here. Um, they do a lot of tracking your statistics and different hands and things like that, as well as, I guess, a lot of different options for as you get more playing and you progress through the game. They have achievements and stuff like that. So um, I think this was just a fun way to share kind of the game itself. And yeah, thanks for checking in. I'm sure I'll post more of these because this game's a lot of fun just playing through. Maybe I'll get into the online versions of how to play against different people in the future. So yeah, again, thanks for checking it out, and I'll be back soon.